Okay, I went and got the bladder, rinse it out and let it dry. There's another thing that I want to mention that also I just noticed. Get it? I hang that. One thing that this bag needs, and I'm hoping somebody from Missy Ranch can hear this or sees this video, is that it needs a the bag itself needs a frame, because every video you look at that you see when they're loading and explaining how to take it apart and do the whole thing, well, they always have some filler inside the bag, like clothing or a pillow or something that keeps the bag in a shape. But if you're going to load quarters in the shelf and you take the shoulders off, otherwise you won't be able to load anything. Then you have a floppy bag that is unmanageable. So you have your let me see if I have something that I can put in here. So let's say that this is a quarter or two. When you shove it in there, you won't be able to get it, like I said before, you won't be able to get the shoulders back on the frame, because you can't. So what you got to do is stretch out your little side straps and then hook them up to the side. But this is the thing. You hook up the top. Okay, let me turn it. Over here where the knife is hanging is the bottom clip. And this is the top clip, and there's no other clip up here. There's nothing else. So now you got this bag like this. Looks very good on video, but when you actually doing the actual loading, then you start seeing problems with the design. Okay, clip it here, and like I said, there's nothing else. So now you have this thing hanging, and you want to be able to put meat down the pack, down the bag here. So you have this issue that this thing is not holding up because it doesn't have an internal aluminum frame to hold it. Then when you, and I know some people are going to say, oh no, you got to connect the hook on the top. Well, I understand that. Let's say you have your quarters in there. You put this down flat. And if you can do this on a little hillside, you know, where this is a little up, it's practical. Okay, you unhook it here in the middle, and you open up the bag, and you start stuffing your stuff in there. But as you can see, I only have bags. It's not really neat, so I can crush it, right, and fill it up. But isn't it easier to have it straight up so you can just put the meat in there and fill it up as you go, right? Instead of having it open, gut open like this, and then it's going to be kind of hard to close. So there's not a lot of gap. There's not a lot of room in there for for the rest of the meat. And you're gonna have it in a bag. You're not gonna toss chunks in there loose. But this bag should be up. Okay, let me close this here again. And the one, let's see, where's the other one here? The other one is here. Close it up a little bit. So you bring up the bag almost to the top. The zipper, I mean. Let me bring it up now. And now you want to start loading it up. It's holding somewhat the shape because of the clip here. And then you can start putting your stuff in here. But this bag is representing the bag of meat or the quarters. Okay. Maybe if you have a bag of meat, you can debone the quarters and toss it in the bag. It'll be a little higher. But my point is that I'm having an issue with the top end. I'm having an issue with the top end. This should be up. Now, this little strap here, there's nothing to it. There's nothing to say, oh, I can hook it from the back end because there's not enough material here. It's very short. Let me zoom it up a little bit so you guys get a better look. There's not enough material here to say, oh, I'm going to go around and click. You know, that would have been one solution to do that, because then you can go ahead and bring it up and have the bag this way, right? But it doesn't. It doesn't hang on to anything. There's nothing here that would help it stay up. So basically, once you load this thing up high, you're gonna have a floppy top heavy bag that it's gonna throw you off. Now I know, yeah, you fill it up, you zip it, and then you use these. I know some people are gonna say, hey, don't forget the ones. I'm not forgetting. And some people say, do it crossways. Yeah, you can do that too. But you can do it this way. And do it this way. And do it this way. And then you have a somewhat half-ass held up bag by these two pieces up here. But the bag on its own should have a system, some sort of a strapping system, because this will help you with the weight. But as far as the shape of the bag, it's not really helping much. Let me see. There's two little things here. There's little loops that I don't know if they have a purpose. I don't see where to hook them. But, okay. An idea just popped in my head. So this is something you can do to the little loops here with a small bungee. I got a tiny little bungee there. Let me see if this is going to help. And then you bring it around the back and hook it. And it's somewhat, it holds it, but it's not short enough. You should do some sort of a, let me see. You got to do MacGyver with this stuff. Bring it over and loop it over the top of the other two clip-ons. And there's a half-ass solution to the issue. But if it has an internal frame, it will be ideal. Two aluminum rods that will hold the shape of the bag, hold the body of the bag. Before you cinch it, all you do is put bags in there, small bags of meat to use the space in this big cavity. This is one way of helping you hold the bag up. And I still have an issue with this freaking hood. When it's full, it's going to bump against this, you know, and it's going to be a pain. But see, right now, I kind of found a solution to it. It's not the best. It should be something more permanent than a small little bungee, because that bungee is going to start stretching, but the way I hooked it, it might hold where it's at. Okay, yeah, hold it like that, and that kind of helped the bag stay up. So when you start doing your pinching down the sides here, and then you can start tightening it and everything, then you're going to have a you know, right now it's empty because there's nothing in it, but the point is that this bag should hold its shape. And every time you see a video, they have a pillow or two pillows, or they have some foam, or they have you know, coats or whatever. If you're hunting in the winter, you're probably going to have, after hiking so much, you're going to be sweating. You're probably going to have a coat in there. But what I do with my coat, I don't put it in there because I want the capacity. I put it under this. I just shove it under the two straps, tighten it down, and that'll hold it. It'll be dripping on both sides. It's not going to go nowhere. I want this bag empty. I don't want coat and, you know, and food or anything. The snacks are on the side pockets. So that's one way of dealing with the issue of having bag drooping down like that. It's very annoying. And if this bag here on the Kelty, it's attached all the way to the top. Attached all the way to the top. That's why it's holding the shape. You bring this up, you unclick it here, bring it up, and you got a huge cavity. I mean, a huge cavity that you can just toss all your meat and stuff and haul it out. This is a very good setup. I have it adjusted all the way to the top, so it can't go any lower on the frame. It can go higher, but you don't want the meat, you know, way up here, because you're gonna be, if you stumble, you're gonna head straight to the ground, face down. You're gonna break your face. But as you can see, the height of the pack is right behind, almost in the middle of my head. That's a good height. And then, oh no, it's not correctly. Because if I put this on the hips, it's going to go higher. Okay, so now, if I cinch it down, you can see that the top is very high. The belt has to be on the hips. The belt has to be on the hips. No other way of doing it. So the bag, I could probably lower the bag on the frame. A deer with this, and the thing is, hunting with this thing on your back is huge. I mean, there's a lot of body moving when you're hunting. You gotta be kind of stealthy and low to the ground. You can't be, you hide in a gully and the thing's gonna be sticking out like a flag. You know, so it's you have to be, you have to adjust it to you. And think about how you're going to carry the pack and how you're going to carry the meat. So as far as the height, this one has the connections here, the attachments, I mean. So you can't really bring the bag down. If I bring it down to this level, maybe I could, but then the bag is going to be like way down here. It'll be kind of weird. But there's a lot of adjustability to this pack. So this is the frame on its own, and the frame on its own, you can carry a good size quarter here. Kind of dusty. So you can just put you put it down on the ground. Of course, and you put your quarters towards the bottom, and you run some ropes, some bungees, tie it crisscross, ratchet down, you know, just bring the right equipment with you, and then you can haul it out with this. And I think this thing alone is well, this is full. I think it's 4 pounds, maybe something like that. No, it's 5 pounds, I think. Because I did weigh empty and it was 9, but it had the other bag on the bottom. It has an additional bag. To attach it lower, I would have to. Oh, and this thing also has, and it's on. That's why it's a good deal. It has also its own straps, so you can just take this as a day bag. You don't need to hold out the whole frame. You can just take the whole thing as a day bag, and it's very comfortable. Got 2 rows of where to hook it. It's got an outside row and an inside row for a different frame person. This thing is super adjustable. Super adjustable. See, this way it brings out the bag further out, stretches it out. And now that the bag is hanging further, 7 inches further down, now the weight of the meat, it will be right at your back level. So let's see now what it looks like. And then if I put this around the hips, when I bought this I had a smaller waistline. It's so tight now. All right, so cinch it here, and there it is. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. So now there's another issue. And like I said before you buy a bag, you think on everything. You think on everything because it'll come up when you're hunting. And then you said, damn it, I didn't think of that. And this is what I just came to me. Okay, the bag is at the right height. But these little connectors, they have no adjustability. If you do want to put quarters in between the rack, the frame, and your bag, there's no room. No room. That means that you have to carry the meat in your bag, debone it, and carry it in your bag. Or, which I think is better, you need a bag for the small stuff, you know. The quarters, yeah, you can put it on the frame. But what do you do with the small stuff? You know, the back straps and the loins and any other extra meat that you took off for the ribs, and you need a bag. So there's an issue there. You cannot use this with the quarters. You will have to debone all the meat and put it in the bag in plastic bags. This plastic bag it's nylon on the inside, so if it gets bloody, you can turn it inside out, hose it. No big deal, it's not going to rot. But there's an issue that I never thought about because never thought about it. That when you're going to carry a game, you need to have it on the frame. Okay, here's another one. And I did this once, and I made a video about it. This is another option that is very doable. Let's say you have your quarters on the back here, all tied, perfect. This Kelty, I've carried 70 pounds. It'll take the weight, and then you put your loose meat in the bag, right? And what do you do with the bag? You put it over the front. And I did this with I believe this one and the Badlands. So now, of course, you have to. It's pretty tight to my neck. You have to adjust it so it hangs the right way. So now you're perfectly balanced. You got weight in the back, weight in the front, and you can walk pretty much straight. If you can carry, say, 20 pounds here, 40 pounds in the back, that's 60 pounds. That's a lot of meat. That's a lot of meat. Okay. And then, because if you put everything in the back, you're doing this. You're going, and you're going to fall. You know, you're going to be able to walking this way all the time. And I've seen guys, coming out and they carry this whole thing. So if you do it this way and you adjust the bag exactly, this does have adjustability. And so you can use this bag as an additional carry in front of you, or if you don't want to, it is a big bag. If you don't want to carry a big bag like that, you get yourself something. This is a small one, but you get something like this that it would be a medium, and you put it over your front, and then you can use the frame. See, two back straps here. It could be taken with this. Back strap's gonna weigh, I don't know, 10 pounds. 10 pounds, maybe not even that. No, not 10 pounds. It's gonna be like 6 pounds for a back strap. So you're taking 12, and you throw some more miscellaneous, and let's say you're taking 15, 17, 18. You can take it on the back like this, and if you have your Kelty frame on your back, and you can carry the quarters out. There's a good combo right there. And then this, you leave a cap for your camping equipment, because that's where you need the room. This is my food little bag that I use when I go into the wilderness, and I can carry some stuff in here. And I have I can use this little rope that's why it's all beat up, because I've used it a lot. Put a carabiner, hook it to this, and toss it over a branch and lift it, because this is going to be my camp food, and there's bears in the area. I don't want a bear coming by, because I opened up a can of sardine, he sniffed it half a mile away or something. And you have to be careful, because there have been some bear attacks that have killed people. All of a sudden they show up and they're there, and your rifle's over there. You have to carry a gun with you all the time. Even if you're going to go and take a dump in the woods, you have to take a handgun with you, because shit like that happens. I met with a guy from Arizona last weekend, and we had a good conversation. I invited him to lunch. Let's go grab a beer and a burger. And so we went to this place and we started talking, and he told me that he has they go hunting in Arizona at this place that they know for years, and it's got elk and like that. And he knows somebody that has a cabin back in the mountains. He didn't tell me exactly the name or anything, but he says that he was sitting in his porch of his cabin, possibly a rocking chair or something. He was just sitting there enjoying the afternoon, and a bear came up from behind him, attacked him, killed him, and they heard the commotion, because somebody that has a cabin nearby, and they were staying there, something like that. And they came over there, and the bear was already eating them. He was dead already. He was already eating them. So they chased him, and they shot him, and they killed him. So you have to have, in bear country, you have to have protection. You can't rely on a little spray can. Forget about it. When the animal is hungry or pissed or whatever, you need something to stop him, not to stun him. Because you spray him, he's gonna go, go like that, and then he's gonna come back again. No, don't take a chance. Take a gun. The biggest you can take. So that's an option with this pack. That the thing is, let me take it up before I put it back on there. The thing is that I've always said, if I go hunting with this animal, I mean, look at the size of this thing. It looks like a spaceship, It's huge. So there's movement. You're moving around. And the deer's going to say, what the hell is that? You're moving around with a rifle. You're hunting with a gun. and you're moving around with this thing sticking out way out here. It's a little awkward. It's light, doesn't really weigh anything really. I don't know exactly what it weighs, but I don't think this weighs 5 pounds. Probably 3. So I don't know why the whole thing was 9 pounds. I don't understand that. So maybe it had something in it I didn't know. So it's a carrier. Yeah, you can carry the big quarters and the front quarters and everything in there, and then like I said, put a bag in front of you and you're good. That's a good setup. But it is awkward hunting with this in your bag, being that it can't go any lower on the, let me see. Yeah, there's nothing here in the middle. If there was another bar there, I could do an adjustment. The frame that stands on its own. Kelty. You know what? I've been calling it a Kelty. It doesn't say Kelty anywhere. It says outdoor. And the bag and the whole system was designed by, it's Dwight Schuch. S-C-H-U-H. Dwight Schuch. Fieldline series. He designed it. He was an archer. The hook for the bladder. And this is the bag that got chewed up by the mouse, the rat. But I fixed it. I had it fixed. Here's another pocket on top. And attaches to the top here with a clip. It has a side pocket on the side. That's why I call it a side pocket. It's on the side. Here's another perfect pocket for my what do you call it? My spotting scope. And it has another outside pocket here attached to it. And man, I took a lot. I took more than I needed with this thing. And then the other bag on the bottom, it sits in the, that will be the kitchen. I will have all the dehydrated food in there, my cooking system, and the works. I took too much. I had cookies and Jello and flan, and I was there for 7 days, so I wanted to make sure I had enough and that was one of my first trips that I really always wanted to do a backpacking trip, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I don't care if I go by myself, and I did it. But the bag is very adjustable, and it says that you can't do the quarters and put this over it because there's no adjustability on the straps. It's all right. Let me put this down. I'm not going to work on this right now. Okay, now this one. This is the Badlands. It doesn't say anything. I think it was called Badlands. Here. Max 1. This is 1700 or 1800, something like that. Small. But believe it or not, the way they designed this, it was very smart. Big opening. You notice that the bag is not collapsing. Why? It has an internal rod frame out of carbon fiber right here, and it has an internal frame, aluminum aircraft. You see the red bar going, and it's attached to the bag, so this bag is not collapsing. Okay? It's got the hook here for the bladder. It's got all the room. The room is not huge, but it's got a bag that you can use. But this is something that you don't see every day. It has a rear tubular compartment, little clip-on. Open up the top. Got a big tube. I'm going to show you my arm. Goes all the way to my sleeve. that is deep. And I would put in here, it fit perfectly. It would fit the jet boil, my pee bottle, and the lunging water jug. It would all fit in there. And I'm going, whoa, nice. You know? And on the side, it has an additional side pocket. Which is pretty good. And there we'll put knickknacks and snacks and whatever. I would put the food and everything there. It has another one pocket on the other side, the same size. Then on the bottom, this one has a zipper in case you need a bigger bag. Check it out. It stretches out. It stretches material. So you get an additional 2.5, almost 3 inches of more tube pocket. In case you're putting something that it won't fit, you can push it down. Then it has bottom straps for your tent, your sticks, sleeping bag, whatever. This thing weighs 4 pounds. It's light as a feather. I think it weighs 3.5. Really. It's got a very breathable netting with a lumbar support out of foam in the back. Also, it has a support here. The internal belts have also foam support, and then it's got a side pocket in the belt on both sides, and you can put your ammo and your light and anything you can put in there. It's got a bigger pocket than that one, believe it or not. And as far as comfort, this is very comfortable. And I think I paid $75 for this. Very good build system. And you can walk all day with this, and you would not feel it on your back. It's so comfortable. It's very snug to your back. And believe it or not, I packed the whole camping gear on this thing, with the hanging sandals and the jug of water. I take an empty jug of water up there, and then I will go to the stream and pump it with the filter, fill it up, take it to the camp, and I will put it inside here. It fits. Take it up there. Very comfortable. Very comfortable. It's a well designed. And then if they make a bigger one, I'm sure it's going to be even better. You know, this one here hooks up here. It fits like a glove. Let me put it that way. Okay, so very good pack. Not too big, but believe it or not, man. Now the only thing is that this is not a meat packer, a meat hauler. And I could debone it and put a lot of stuff in there, but it's going to be maybe a quarter of a deer. Then I got the X2 Everly Stock backpack. People are calling this a day bag. Yeah, you could use it as a day bag. It has a lot of the good features. The material is built like it's very tough materials. It seems like a tank, really. It's got the big pockets, easy to access stuff. It's a little bit on the short side. I know somebody from Montana that has one, and he made a comment about the same thing. It's short, no, more like 18, should be maybe 20. It's got a top pocket for your stuff here. It's got another little pocket, basically where I put the license and chapstick stick and small things. Up here I would put my emergency kit, toilet paper, easy access. You don't need to be digging down to the bottom. Things like that. And I did a camping trip with this, but it wasn't successful. And I tell you why. Being that it's small, it does have. Okay, let me continue with the compartments, and I'll tell you. Got another compartment here, so I can put my spotting scope in there. But if you have a bigger spotting scope, then you can put it on this huge pocket here. And here I would put my camera tripod, which is small, it's 14 inches. A lot of the knives and things like that. The little shovel that I'm not taking any more because I'm not digging. When I'm doing my number, I just find a spot and then kick some dirt over it, and you're done. It's got another huge pocket over here. It's got another side pocket over here. The reason that I bought this was to haul meat. Now, for that purpose, this is very good. Well, I'm not going to call it very good. I'm going to call it good enough. It does have a tubing frame that wraps around and is hooked up to the frame by this loop. So it just basically it's a frame, comes up, loops around, comes down, and it has a loop here. You can hook it. I've never taken it apart because it's very well tied in there. But for some reason, when I did the meat test, because I did do a meat test with this one, I felt all the weight, taking me back like that. And I think it's because it's too short. Your weight is towards the bottom. If you have a taller frame, you have more weight on top, and then you can kind of, balance. Now, the thing that I liked about this wing setup, it's got a good pouch, so it does fit, and then you could stretch it out. It has a good pouch. You can fit some stuff in there. I have. It's got a little zipper on top here, another pouch for medium, small, wipes, anything you need personal. And it's got all this elastic, what do they call it? The inside pocket here. It's got the big pocket on the side, I already showed. And then when you do carry an animal, okay, you have this flat. It has a stretchy cord here that you can just tighten it and cinch all the stuff. So that it's got very good material. I don't even know what they call this material. It's a nylon material, but it's very tough. It's not going to cut or anything. Then you put your quarter. I seen a video that a guy had 1/4, but who's going to do 1/4 unless it's an elk? Then you got a big quarter. This over. This is adjustable. Right now they're down short, but you can stretch it out, and this thing could be out to here, right? And then you can go ahead. You click the ones on the inside first. So you bring this here, you attach it, and this is a very good day bag. I mean, if this is what you want to do when you get a deer, this is the right bag for you. It's not a camping bag. A camping backpack. Does not hold enough to go camping, even though I did it, but it's a nightmare. And then you can put your stuff in there and haul it out. Now the belts, they're a little bit on the thin side compared to the other ones, but the material is such that it's still comfortable. But the issue with the balance is what I noticed. It wasn't top heavy. It was just heavy. It didn't feel as comfortable as that one. And I think it has to do because of the height. It does have a frame. The bag does hold up and carry, but as you can see, the bag is already below the top of my back. It's way down there. Let me see. Six inches from the back of my neck. That should be up to my neck. So this should be I think it was a 20. No, it wasn't even a 20. It was a 1950 square inches. But the material is very tough. The comfort, it is comfortable. Just make sure you have it tight against your body. It's got a lot of adjustabilities, a lot of, I love those bat wings, they call it. And you can put big quarters, medium quarters, and you can just adjust it and cinch it down. It's tight to your body. And right now it's a little bit loose because I'm wearing a thin t-shirt, but when you're having hunting clothing and you got a coat or something, it'll be snug, believe me. This is more for a mid-frame guy. 150, 160. Not for a 200-pound guy, or 195 or something. It should be a little bit bigger. If you're gonna get off the truck and hunt, I would take this because this is also very light. It's also 4 pounds. And that's one thing I investigate before buying anything. What does it weigh? Because you're going to be hauling this thing with you all day long. Now, as far as the height, 18 versus, what was that one there? The Badlands? See the difference? If it would have been this height, I don't think I would have bought the Selway. This one is 24 to the very top. 23 here, 24 here. That's a full-size torso. Okay, my torso, bring it up, back of my back to the top of my neck, is 26. So this thing, it's more comfortable. It fits better than the Everly stock. But this Badland is not a meat hauler, even though it has an aluminum frame. Now, if you want to say, well, I want to toss whatever I can in here, and yeah, you can put in there, back straps and loins and some side meats, and fill it up as much as you can. But you won't be taking any, or maybe you can fit a thin, narrow quarter in the hole here. But this is not really that type of pack. This is a hunting pack that you can do camping because it has the additional tube pocket that, to me, it was perfect. And just having those extra inches, I could put the stuff I needed, and I took it. So the Everly stock X2 is on the short side. If it was a little higher, I mean 18 inches, versus 24. No wonder that one fits so well. It's so comfortable. If you have this one up on top, because this one is riding more or less where it is now, halfway around the back, and that's why when I put meat in it, and I put 30. What did I put? I put more than, because I have more. I give some away. I think I put 40 versus 34. Man, it was like, whoa! It was like you carried a bag of meat and tossed it over your back. What happens? That's what happens. That's what this one felt like. It didn't have that balance, that support. Now the Mystery Ranch is a different animal. The Mystery Ranch has the capacity for camping, because I've done it. Believe me, it needs a few more inches, if you ask me. Because when I packed it, I stuffed it to the gill with everything that I needed. I didn't overdo it. To the back of the frame is 25, but the actual bag is 20. Let me see if I lift it up a little bit. The actual bag is 23. So it's not that much bigger than the Badlands. Let me put it side by side. See what I mean? The Badlands is higher. Now, frame to frame, because this has the aluminum rod here, the not aluminum, this is the carbon fiber, to keep the bag its shape. And that's what I'm complaining about the Mystery Ranch. It does not have an internal frame to hold up the bag, because when you hold up the bag, it's going to be easier for you to start putting stuff in it. I know it's got an open mouth zipper back here, and you can yeah, I heard the whole thing. But when you actually do the filling it up, it helps if you have a bag that it maintains its shape, not this loose, floppy thing. You know. Now this what I did up here. Yeah, that'll hold for a while until those little loops will rip because it's got tension on them, and I don't know how long that's going to last. Mystery Ranch should have some setup that the back of this bag would attach to the back of the frame here to keep it like this. That will be, see how better it looks? All right, not sagging down like this, because the meat is going to push down. It's not going to fluff up. The back, the pack will fluff up when you have a tent or a sleeping bag or anything there that's going to push up. Clothing, not meat. Meat is going to sag down. It's going to weigh it down, and this is going to be doing this shit. All right. Now, as far as the comfort, yeah, this is very good. That one was good enough. This is very good. I went into their website and I saw that they have now, if you don't want to carry the bag on its own, the bag with the frame, they have a shelf system that attaches to it, and it's just to haul the deer, the quarters and everything. It doesn't have a bag. So what do you do with your loose stuff? Because everything is not quarters. You're gonna have those. You're not gonna leave those bag straps on the first strip. You leave the front quarters that has the least meat. You take the rear quarters and the back straps, and if you want to get to the loins, get those, and you take that. And then when you come back, if there's no animals messing around with your deer, then you can go ahead and remove the rib meat and take care of the meat around the throat and everything else. The neck, very good tender meat. And for that you need a bag. So there's not a perfect system. There's just not a perfect system. I seen people that they're carrying, I mean, these are big, young, 6.5 foot football guys. You know, they're tough, they're big. They're hauling the camp and the meat. They put the meat on the shelf, and they got the camp in here. And I said, well, I don't know how much camp you got in there. You probably have a couple of coats or something, but you don't have the tent and the sleeping bag and the mat and everything else. No. Cooking system? No. No. They make it look like you can carry everything out. They go, yeah, if you're a freaking mule and the bag is big enough. Now, there's a guy that has a channel. He's called Terry. I forget the channel name, but his name is Terry. And he's always promoting because he's up there, he's Montana. He's promoting the Mystery Ranch packs. And he said that his favorite, it was the Metcalf. The Metcalf has more square inches. I think it's 40, what is it, 43 something? And it has a bigger bag, and you can flatten it out, you can make it bigger, and you can go, and he's done it. He's gone hunting, backpacking, taking the tent, and he takes a pretty good sized tent, and he takes everything. But every pack is not perfect. Every pack is not perfect. They always cut. I don't know if they do it on purpose. They give you something, but they take something away. Like for instance, they give you this great system, and then they give you the little shitty pockets. Compared to the size of the pocket that goes from here all the way to here. That's a big ass pocket. This got a little pouchy thing here. By the way, if I remember correctly, you have to buy these separate. It doesn't come with a pack. And I bought two because this is where I carry my peanuts, my little cookie thing. So these are broken up. And I'm sitting under a tree, and the little snacks will give me energy. Peanut and chocolate and things. I also take jerky. Take jerky sticks, and I also have these. I imagine, let's see, lemon lime Gatorade powder. Mix it up with water. I like the blue one. Not too much on the red one, but I like the blue one. Getting windy again. Let me put some on. It was a nice day in the morning, and now it's windy again. And we're going to get another rainstorm on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday straight. And right now, it looks like we're going to get some wind. Yeah, there's another dip coming. Man, it doesn't stop. It goes up and it goes down. And it goes up and then it goes down again. Jesus. So anyways, the pack, I remember now, it wasn't 37.50, it was 37.83 or some odd number. And it's supposed to be between the Metcalf, which is bigger, and the Pintler, which is smaller. I think the Pintler was 27, around there, 29 maybe, I don't know. This is 37.83, so it's a good size. One thing I do like about it is that it's not a big bag. It's a medium small, which I think they should have gone full medium. This is not really a medium sized bag, but I've taken it out several times with the equipment now, and it fits. Now, one thing that I never tried, and I've seen videos, some people, they put in the shelf between the bag and the frame, they put the tent. They run it off to the side here. No, wait a minute, I did that once. Yeah, I put it on the side of the, but some people put it between the shelf and the bag, and they squeeze it together. This bag is ready, if I remember now, it's 150 pounds, which is a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight. I'll be going one step forward, 3 steps backwards. So, but it has the capacity of carrying, which is the main reason I got it, is to carry the meat. And last night I was looking at a video that no, I'm not going to take it all apart. I just finished hooking everything, but I'll explain what I mean. The guy was carrying elk, 1/4, big quarter, and a bag of meat. And he opened up he had an F3 frame. I'm not sure who makes that. And he says that not necessarily, you don't need to have the shelf hanging, because the meat will sag down into that shelf, and you want the meat as high as you can. So what you do is you keep the shelf tight, and you open up the bag, you put the meat there, you cinch it down, you put the bag over, you cinch it down tight, and you keep it as high as possible. It doesn't matter if it's sticking out to the top. You don't want it hanging below the bottom of the bag. That way you don't have the problem with the weight like that, and that way you can control it better. And with the 3-way, let's see, with the 6 traps, it's got 2 on each side, 2 on top. That'll tighten up pretty well. The deer quarter and the one I got from Wyoming, that was a monster. If I would have caught it backpacking with this, it would have been a 1/4. Believe me, it would have been a 1/4 load, because that deer was huge. I mean, compared to the, well, this one's older. Compared to the California deer, it just in the chest and the neck alone, this sucker's double the size. So that's it. That's my review, and on my on all my backpacks, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when you buy a bag, remember, when you buy a backpack, remember what you want it for, how you're going to use it. Uh, my plan was to use it as a backpacking hunting pack. Some people buy a backpack to haul meat only. That would be the X2. And you go to the from the truck back to the truck. That would be perfect. You don't need to have a lot of room for the capacity of camp clothing, tent and sleeping bag and none of that stuff. You have enough for what you need to do, which is bring out the game out of the woods. So remember that when you're looking to buy a pack, what you need to look for. And now that I'm talking about it, I do want to sell this one. So let me tell you, I paid $300 for this. They're up to, I think the last time I looked into it, last year, I think they were $340. I'll sell this for a couple of $100. If you guys are interested, give me a note. You're saving over $100, easy, $150. Now with everything the way it is, and the manufacturing costs and material, this bag's probably going to be $400. So I do want to sell the X2 by Everly stock. Let me know if you're interested, okay? I know the review I gave it wasn't 100%, but this bag is not for backpacking, camping. This is for hunting and bringing the game out. It is a meat hauler, okay? So, okay, guys, I'm going to let it go at that. I'm going to close the garage because I'm getting nippy, getting windy, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.